Well, good evening. Unfortunately, Jessica is ill tonight, and she has one of those horrific summertime colds. And they are just no fun. But I want to take a moment to talk about, um, let's talk about you for a second. So, if you've clicked on this or started to watch this, then you probably have some GI issues. And whether that is because you have diarrhea. Now, if you're sick and if you're like Jessica and you're sick, then having some gastrointestinal disorder or discomfort is normal. But on the day to day, are you suffering with this kind of stuff? Oh, thank you, Kathy. She needs it. So if you're suffering with this kind of stuff, if you don't know if you're going to have a solid bowel movement, or if you don't know you're going to have a bowel movement this day, that's something that really needs to be checked out. That is your body flashing up the check engine light, and you should not, at this point in time, start taking stuff to either force yourself to have a bowel movement or to stop it. And the Chinese say death begins in the gut. And so what you've got to figure out is, why is this happening? And sometimes if you think back, you can think back if you were swimming in a lake and swallowed some water, or maybe you've just had a crappy diet. Maybe you were a C-section child, and if you were a C-section and then bottle fed, your gut was just never set up. And now at this point in time, you don't have the ability to compensate for it anymore. The older I get, the worse, if I do something wrong, the worse it affects me. But after having rehabbed my gut, I laugh because I'm Mr. Whatever, Mr. Take Care of it all, and clean eating and whatnot. But I will still have fast food once in a while. Jess just looks at me and rolls her eyes when I do. But I do. I get stressed. I'm human, and it's going to happen. But it used to be that would give me acid reflux, heartburn, stuff like that. And I just don't get that now. I don't know what would happen if I would eat it Actually, I do. If I ate it continually, then I would get those things. But you have to pay attention to the body, because if the body is telling you this, then there is a problem. And so some of the easiest things that you can do is, one, are you getting enough water in? I know it sounds counterintuitive that if you have diarrhea, that you need to drink more water. And I would say that you probably need to drink more water as well as increase the fiber. Most importantly, hey, you have to figure out what is causing the problem and remove that. Now, I will say that we have a new tool at the clinic. We love the Biome FX test that tells us a lot about what's going on in your gut. But the research on the microbiome is getting better all the time, and there is a new test out called the GI Map, and this one actually starts to show us the methanogens, and this starts to show us if H. pylori genetically is seen in your gut. And there are studies now starting to show that if you have H. pylori present in your gut in any level, then you have a problem, because it is not a commensal bacteria, and that needs to be dealt with. And there are natural products that can deal with this, as well as you can do antibiotic therapy. But if you do that, and you do that over and over and over again, then you're also starting to abuse the bacteria in your gut. And then you're going to have more diarrhea. You're going to have more constipation. You're going to flip back and forth between the two. Also, if you do notice that your body is having a problem with having bowel movements, or if you spray paint the toilet, as they say, then you're A, inflamed, and B, lack a lot of fiber. And so my patients will tell you, I encourage them to get 40 grams of fiber a day at a minimum, and drink half their body weight in ounces of water. because you have to have that water to help move the fiber through. If you don't drink enough water and you eat a bunch of fiber, guess what? That has a tendency to plug you up. The remedy is not to eliminate the fiber. The remedy is add water so it moves. And those are just simple things that you can do on your own. So half your body weight in water and try to get 40 grams of fiber a day. There is a wonderful smoothie that we use, and I measured it out the other day. That it, Here it is. I use 8 ounces of green tea. I put in a handful of blueberries, which is about 35 grams of blueberries. I put in one carrot, a medium-sized carrot. I added 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. I did put my Ultra GI Replenish and my Ultra Inflamex in there, and that was all frozen. I added a handful of spinach. It ended up being about 35 grams of fiber in one drink, and then I blended that up and ate it like ice cream. Actually, the Ultra GI Replenish, the the that's a microbiome enhancer that helps your gut come out. That actually hit the spot, and it makes it taste. It gives it a sweet taste because your bacteria in your gut, which is probably what's causing this to begin with, they love that stuff. Now, sometimes you may have to be careful because if you're eating, if you're having GI issues and you eat fiber and the GI issues get worse, then there may be an overgrowth issue, and that's where you need to start to think about using some antimicrobials and stuff like that to get rid of the overgrowth. There are several products that you can use that are natural that go in, crowd out the bad bacteria, and then allow the good bacteria to come back in. But all in all, you have to make sure the plumbing is working the way that it should. Because what happens if you have the plumbing in the house backed up and all kinds of nastiness backs up into the bathtub, and then your toilet overflows, and then your sink won't work, and that just makes for a smelly house. And think about what happens in you if you are not going to the bathroom once to twice a day, then that's what's happening to you. And so you need to take the time to take care of yourself because you're worth it. You've got to figure this out. Otherwise, it just makes for a miserable experience. And as far as we know, we all only get one trip around this world, and you might as well make it as enjoyable and take advantage of all the wonderful things that we've been given. And like I said, you're worth it. So figure that out and start to help yourself heal. And that's what we do at Integrated Health of Indiana. We help you figure that stuff out, and then we help you go through the process of reversing it. And sometimes the road from A to B is not straight, it's windy. And I've done that with my own health. We've done that with Jessica's health. We've done that with other people. But like I say, you're worth it. And that's what we're here for. We're here to help you be the best that you can be the healthiest you can be. And typically, if you're generally pretty healthy, you're generally pretty happy. And that's what we all want. We want happy, healthy people. So, if you have any questions, I am working on a free giveaway for the smoothie that we do. And so, the freebies to take away from this are half your weight in body, half your body weight in ounces of water, and 40 ounces of fiber a day. If you have trouble with dealing with that, then you might have bigger issues. And something like the GI map test that we do might help you figure a pathway out of it. So, with that being said, if there are no questions, I have a hungry crew, and since Jessica's down, it's up to me to feed them. Have a wonderful evening. Kathy, you and Bill have a wonderful evening, and thank you for the prayers. We all need them. Bye-bye.